Getting to the money, I be getting to the back. People think I'm funny cause I always make them laugh. I ain't even being funny, I be really spitting facts. I'm about balance and I got talent. Every challenge I overcome. Low-key a savage, never be average. Give me a task and I'll get it done. Minding my business whenever I come in. I'm hitting in business while I'm having fun. I ain't worried about winning, but that would be dumb cause there's no competition. I already won, huh? Yeah.
Peace, 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 family. How you all doing? I hope all is well with you. My name is Keisha. I'm the owner of Astrologiks, and I am your astrology coach. Today, I will be discussing the Taurus full moon happening on November 15th at 24 degrees. I will also be talking about um, what other aspects are happening during this full moon. But before I get into that, I had a few people reach out to me and ask me, um, why haven't I talked anything about the presidency and all that other stuff? So I did do a video on my old page, and I'm pretty sure the link is in the description box below for my Away Life page. I think I just put my old YouTube page for the great conjunction we had last year in Aquarius. Um, Not last year, at the end of 2020. Jesus Christ, I can't even talk now. I highly advise everybody to go back to that video. I've made all my predictions for this time um, in that video. And I'm just no longer interested in participating in the shenanigans. It always gets me like yelling and I'm just not interested. These people do the same thing every 4 years. Nothing has ever changed. And my simplest answer is that all they do is try to get you to, all they do is watch us like we're little rats in a maze. Every 4 years, they track us, they watch what we do, and then build things to try to block our progress and success. And that's all they're ever going to do. And so I think right now it's more important to focus on ourselves and our purpose and mission in life, doing some healing and figuring out how we can come together to strategically start a war. That's the best war. That's the only war that's going to win. We don't own weapons. We don't own anything in a way to fight them in the way that is physical. So you have to use strategy, which is the art of war. Stay quiet, mind your business, do your internal healing work, and you build. You build blocks. You build with people who care for you. You build security that way. And that's it. That's the battle. You will win at the end. And the more people who do that and become awakened to the shenanigans, the less control they have over you. And when you stop playing their game, they lose. So the more you participate in this shit, the more they think that shit's cute, and they just motivated every day to get up and keep repeating same dumbass stuff. So that's my answer, and that's all I'm going to be saying about it. And I genuinely and honestly don't care. If you want a reading and you want some coaching, if you want your weekly reading sent to you, I feel like those are the best things to focus on at this time. Other than that, fuck these people. Focus on your family, build your family, build your team. All right. Also, I wanted to make another announcement. Um, I did do horoscopes for the month of November where I broke down all this information that I've been talking about with all of these transits. specific to you. Your rising sign, you can read your rising sign, sun sign, and moon sign in the November astrology video. I should have put November horoscopes. I'm pretty sure it confused people. It's not a November astrology, it's the November horoscopes for all 12 signs. So check it out. Um, and hopefully that helps you each and every month focus more on your individual um, process and whatever it is you're trying to build at this time. And my last notice is that we are officially in Mercury and Mars retrograde shadow. And so you really want to be paying attention from now until they actually do go retrograde, because anything that's happening now is all going to come back up. And then, be mindful of your energy levels with Mars. The only way to beat that, and I will be doing a video on this, by the way, um, but be mindful of your energy levels with Mars. And the way to defeat it is by doing the things that you love that really feed your soul. That's when you'll notice you're going to get some kind of energy back. If you find yourself low in energy in anything that you do, that means it's not aligned with who you are and who you're meant to be and where you're trying to go. You got to let it go. Now, unless you're having some kind of health issues, and obviously that's completely different. Um, and with Mercury, it's the same stuff that Mercury always is about, and even double time with exes coming back, old friends, old social groups, um, old stomping grounds because of the Mars and Leo. Um, um, Exes, ex-friends, old friends, your hometown, anything to do with your hometown, um, old neighborhoods, um, um, your speech, um, making sure you double check, triple check all text messages and things that go out, and mailing. If you're doing any kind of shopping and you're doing it through mail, just know that there's going to be some delays. Um, and um, yeah, I feel like that's all that my brain is allowing me to think of at the moment. But the typical retrograde things, right? Be careful. Just know that you're going to face some kind of frustration somewhere, somehow, depending on where these things are playing out for you in your chart. And again, I did do all this in the November astrology videos for all 12 signs. I broke all this stuff down. And so hopefully it's helpful for you. Be mindful and just expect the unexpected. Um, yeah, I feel like that's about it. Mhm. And the signs that will feel the Taurus full moon the most um are Libra and Taurus because they are both ruled by Venus. But everyone has Taurus somewhere in their chart. And so again, you can go back to the November astrology video to see what horoscopes, and you can check your sun, moon, and rising sign for a full story of how this can be playing out for you. Full moons are a time of culmination, completions, and endings. And so something can be wrapping up here around anything that I discuss in this video. And also Saturn, that was the other message. Saturn goes direct the same day as the full moon. And so this can feel like some kind of release or relief or like a breath. You can finally like breathe, you know, um, now that Saturn's going to start to move direct. There can be some changes in your Pisces area of life, better boundaries, in your Pisces area of life. There can be inappropriate outbursts. Plans can change. You can have issues with authority figures, especially male authority figures, but it can really be anybody. Um, what we're looking at is what duties and responsibilities do you have to fulfill now that Saturn is direct? And so, again, there's going to be some kind of forward movement or momentum in the Pisces area of life. This is really about mastering compassion for others and yourself, um, and doing the hard work to achieve some kind of skill. Um, and you will receive some kind of reward from Saturn. Anytime Saturn wraps up a cycle, it gives gifts, right? And so you can expect something sweet to come from Saturn for doing the work, staying on task, if you've done so. If you haven't and you've been lazy and you've been slacking, then nothing bad's going to happen. It's just, it'll be, it might be a little bit more work for you to catch up on, or you might feel like you have to catch up on certain things. Um, Saturn is also going to square Mercury. And so there can be some fear of past times when you felt stupid or misunderstood or foolish or unintelligent. You could have felt embarrassed about saying something that you might have said wrong or in a wrong way somehow that embarrassed you. And this could be coming up for review or as a memory or something to readdress or relook at. So again, make sure you're double checking your text messages, emails that you send out before you send them out. If you have a speech or you have to say something, don't be afraid to say, I need time to think this through and practice saying what it is that you have to say. Um, Things like that can help with this transit. Um, you might have some kind of important information that you want to share, but it can be scary or it can feel very vulnerable. And it might prevent you from getting the message out there. And so take your time with it, sit with it as long as you need to until you feel like it's going to be what you want it. You're going to convey the message the way you want to. On a global level, I think censorship, things around censorship and cancel culture is going to be just ridiculous. It's also going to be, what do I believe? What don't I believe? May not really know what to trust, what information to trust. If the information you're researching is real, the people you're listening to, the people where you're getting your information, you could feel like you're getting mixed messages in some way, shape, or form. That's also kind of muddying whether or not you want to actually share something. And that's pretty normal with Pisces energy in general. Not to mention 24 degrees of this Taurus full moon is a Pisces degree. And so 24 degrees rules things that disappear. They can reappear now. Um, Things that we've lost, mysterious things, things that are invisible. So ghost stories. You can have night terrors or um, nightmares. You can have dreams that are really scary and they might start to make sense to you now. If you've had some kind of weird, spooky, um, ghost-like experience or paranormal-like experience, it could start to make sense to you now. Um, Things that are hard to find, secrets can come out. Fears and phobias can be a lot more heightened, or again, you begin to understand what fear and phobias you have and you're able to overcome them or at least get some clarity about it. Um, diseases, hospitals, medicines, pharmacists, chemists. So I can only imagine something about COVID, sickness or medications or prices of medications can probably come up around this time. Maybe some new damn disease. Who knows with these people, honestly. There can be some issues within the field of medicine and hospitals. Um, yeah, so just, be mindful, make sure that this it's real, and even if it is, try not to react to what you're seeing in the media because they are meant to scare you, honestly. So just, just be mindful what you believe in at this time. And even if it is real, dude, just do your research and do the best you can to stay up, out, and away of whatever it is that can be coming up or out at any given time. Be safe, be safe. But don't put yourself in jeopardy. Do not react, respond, right? Because when you react, it's like energy vampire, and they feed off of that stuff. So, just be mindful, be mindful. People might be coming out of isolation at this time because this can be isolated places. And so if anybody was missing or in the house or not really wanting to be bothered, you might want to be a little bit more social at this time or get out or be seen, or you're literally returning from a vacation. This can be some information about monasteries, but doesn't really have to be. Building a relationship with God, it could be a lot stronger now, especially if you've been doing some internal healing and staying in and really working through some things. Hotels, I have heard, and again, I'll be mindful, but these are the things that I watch out for because this is something that I'm interested in. That Airbnbs are being banned in some places. And so if you are traveling for the holidays, you want to make sure that you are doing your research, as well as there's been some changes to airlines. And I really haven't fully read through them, but you might want to check that out if you don't know already, so that you know what you can and can't do now in order to be able to travel. Um, this could also be 24 degrees can also be anything that happens at night or in a dream or in your bedroom, in your bed or in your bedroom. Oil, gas, drug dealers, photography, things that are false, counterfeit, forgery, vague, foggy, the ocean, the sea, drowning, poison, godparents, things that we run away from or escape. So there can be just some really shocking revelations and surprises, something unexpected coming from that, and or something is just you're getting clarity about these themes in some way. And so the sun, anytime we have a full moon, is always opposite the sun. And so the sun is in Scorpio and the moon is in Taurus. And so this axis is about what we want, what we need, and what we value. What is out of balance? This is where we merge with others, our shared space, money, and passion. It's our awareness to others' influence on us. And so again, people can be like super, super alert to the BS that is out there in the media. And maybe you've already made a choice to like ignore the BS. So good for you if that's where you're at. Good for you if that's the conclusion that you come to whenever, wherever. But again, really, family, like try not to feed into the bullshit. Um, and then this full moon is going to conjunct Uranus and Taurus retrograde. And so there can be some instability that shakes up your needs and wants, because Uranus wants us to think about how what we're aligning with is helping us build whatever it is we're trying to build. And so it's going to shake something up, bring up something unexpected, something you didn't see coming, something you could have never predicted or, but not to hurt you or to piss you off, but to shake you up out of some habits or patterns that you have that no longer align with what it is you're trying to build and or to get you out of your comfort zone. And so just be prepared for it. Somebody showing up out of the blue, somebody calling out of the blue, somebody wanting to have a healing conversation out of the blue, somebody wanting to share their emotions all of a sudden out of the blue, a friend wanting to make up out of the blue, family members wanting to make up out of the blue. Like, just be prepared. An old job calling you back, asking you to come back. Like, it's just a lot of past stuff here that we're still just kind of wrapping up a little bit. Somebody who owed you some money coming back out of the blue, that would be great, right? That's a good surprise. Uranus can be um, happy surprises or frustrating and annoying surprises. So just just expect the unexpected. Just expect it. Um, This could also be weather issues, crazy, crazy weather issues. So that's something else to look for if you're traveling and be mindful of. This could also be emotional ups and downs. Something can happen out of nowhere. You might think things are calm, stable, grounded, and relaxed, but then things get shaken up. Again, it's meant to get you out of your comfort zone. And because this Uranus will be trine Pluto, trine is a positive aspect. And so Pluto here is wrapping up in Capricorn. I think uh when is this? The 15th? I'm pretty sure if it's not 4 days, it's 6 days after the full moon, it moves into Aquarius. And so I like the trine aspect for the closing out of Pluto and Capricorn moving into Pluto and Aquarius, which just means things might kind of die down. At least pressure or intensity might kind of die down a little bit, although Mars is slowing down, and that can be intense. But I still feel like the pressure could let loose a little bit because even Saturn's moving direct, and it's like I really feel like you're going to be able to breathe a little bit. And it could also indicate that there's a welcome change, welcome unexpected changes coming in, not so much disruptive. It's something that you already are aware of that you know you have to do. You just been holding out because you know how when you have a plan and some things are really kind of out of your hand. Like maybe you've already made calls, but you're waiting for people to get back to you, and you can't really move until that happens, type of thing. Or you're saving, right? Taurus can be about budgeting, saving money you have, money you don't have. Um, and you needed like an extra additional before you can make that next step. This can be something that ushers that in a little bit quicker or again unexpectedly out of the blue where you weren't expecting it to come in. So I like that. Um, what else? Mm, yes, and so then obviously we have to look at Venus because Venus is the ruler of this full moon. And Venus is going to be moving into Capricorn this week. I don't think it's there yet. I didn't bring my phone over here, so I didn't check, but I don't think it's there quite as I'm recording this, but I think it's moving in this week just before the full moon. And so now this is on a global scale. Venus and Capricorn is more about, um, government, leadership, presidents, people in power. And so we can see some sweetness going on there, I want to say, because I mean, even though Venus technically is not really what we would call ideal in Capricorn because Capricorn can be a little bit like, and Venus is sweet, right? But I think it could be like tough love, you know, um, somebody holding you accountable, right? But also somebody showing up and being responsible too, being mature about a situation, good or bad. Um, and so, and that way, I don't see this being that bad. And again, I feel like it still brings some sweetness to Pluto moving out of Capricorn because it's going to be conjunct Pluto and Capricorn, right? And so it's helping the transition into Pluto moving into Aquarius. Outside of that, this can be things about your career. So if you've been looking for another job, changing a career or getting some kind of training or, you know, something about your career life, it could be a lot more smoother during this time. Any kind of career changes or education for a new career or training for a new career could be wrapping up and you can be moving into, again, making that money that you needed or just money that you need in general, but it doesn't necessarily have to be for anything in particular. Um, um, I think it's bringing in stability, commitment, and maturity. I think those are the things that I like about it the most, especially when we're talking about a Taurus full moon, because Taurus is a fixed earth sign. It's ruled by Venus and it lives in the second house. This is about banking, money, resources, values, pleasure, food, anything that we collect or consume, what we spend, the money we earn, and again, our budget and savings, even investments. And so to have Venus in Capricorn, solid, absolutely fucking solid. And that's another trine too. I just caught on to that. I didn't even add that in the mix, but it's another trine. So I like that because I feel like we're getting a bit of a break. Honestly, that's just what it feels like. Which is good. I think we could use that after all the heavy, intense, transformative energy that we've been in. And so, the full moon is going to highlight what matters to you, that is disruptive and chaotic. And so we could be really breaking some old patterns and habits around money and Taurus themes. You can surprise yourself with some of the changes that you're willing to make at this time, or have something surprising happen to you that shows you what really matters to you, which is still, I think, great, especially if you are somebody who's looking for love. This isn't really a love like lovey-dovey type energy. I mean, it could be very sensual and sexy in that way. But I like this because it's somebody who's responsible. They're going to show up. And at the very least, if you have a problem, they're going to say it. Or if they can't do something, they're going to say it. I like all the trines, especially when we're talking about Pluto and Venus being together. That can be tricky, but because it's a trine aspect, it's the end of an aspect where we are willing to admit something to let it go. Even Uranus can be tricky in love, but even this I still like because it could be again somebody showing up that you were dreaming of 24 Pisces, but never would have thought that you would have gotten. But this can bring that kind of energy, and it's a supportive energy, unexpected, romantic love that comes in that is responsible, reliable, and they're here to stay, even if it's just a friend. And so I like this for that purpose. Um, so yeah, we can see some stuff happening with inflation, banks, having prophetic dreams, getting more practical with spending habits, reevaluating our values, eating better. This is a great time to charge your crystals, get a massage, um, or do like a nice little bubble bath, a pedi, because Pisces rules the feet, right? So we're talking about a pedicure, a mud bath, right? Taurus, earth energy. But self-care, essentially, no matter how you're doing it, is going to be super critical to any kind of self-care that you're doing is going to be critical to your mental health and well-being. And you can never really go wrong with that, right? So I freaking love this energy. I hope that it brings some peace, at least for the next few weeks. But, there's always something going. And then you have the retrogrades too. So still some past stuff there, but hopefully it's coming in a lot sweeter than anything else. So, as usual, family, I love and appreciate you. I hope you found this information helpful. Peace.